They say curiosity killed the cat. Well, apparently it's ruined a few lives too. I pulled up 10 cursed objects with actual histories so messed up they've left families broken, fortunes gone, and sometimes corpses behind. Whether you believe it or not, these are the stories people whisper about when the lights go out. Here are the top 10 cursed objects that destroyed lives. Let's open up the files. Let's kick things off with a mirror. But not just any mirror, a smoky panelled antique from the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Now, if you're into haunted places, you've probably heard about the Myrtles, but fewer people talk about the mirror there. Locals claim it holds the trapped spirits of Sarah Woodruff and her children, poisoned in the 1800s. According to folklore, mirrors not covered during a death can trap the soul. This one? It wasn't covered. Visitors report seeing cloudy handprints that don't wipe away, shadowy figures, and faces that don't belong reflected chillingly back at them. Several employees say their luck took a horrifying nosedive after spending too much time near it. Job losses, car crashes, sudden medical issues, an antique that reflects more than just your face, apparently. Meet Robert the Doll. If you're thinking, creepy doll, big deal, you might want to sit down. This one lives in a glass case in Key West, Florida, and he's been blamed for accidents, job losses, breakups, and inexplicable misfortunes. Originally a gift to a boy named Robert Eugene Otto in the early 1900s, Robert was said to move on his own, change expressions, and whisper. Visitors to the museum are warned not to take photos without asking permission. Those who do report everything from broken bones, lost jobs, to car wrecks. The museum has drawers full of apology letters, actual pen-written notes begging the doll to lift the curse. Some even report things moving in their homes after visiting. Just imagine offending something that looks like a stuffed child-sized sailor with a 1,000-yard stare. The Dybbuk box. Sound familiar? Yeah, it inspired that horror movie, The Possession, but unfortunately the real story isn't fiction. This wine cabinet was listed on eBay in the early 2000s by a guy desperate to get rid of it. Why? Because everyone who owned it experienced horrifying nightmares, illness, or death. The box allegedly contains a Dybbuk, a malicious spirit from Jewish folklore. Its first buyer, Kevin Manis, claimed his mother had a stroke the same day he gifted it to her. Others reported burning skin, oppressive dread, smells of ammonia and jasmine, and violent light bulb explosions. Even Post Malone reportedly got spooked after handling it during a ghost hunting episode. Today, it's hidden away in Zach Bagan's private haunted collection, under serious protection, which honestly feels like not enough. Here's an odd one. A wedding dress that's never made it down the aisle, because anyone who tries, dies. This Victorian-era gown belonged to Anna Baker of Altoona, Pennsylvania. Anna fell in love with a steelworker, but her wealthy father disapproved. He forbid the marriage, and the dress she'd picked out was never worn. After her death, people swear her spirit remained tied to it. The dress now sits preserved in a glass case, but watch it long enough, and it reportedly sways side to side on its own. Several women who've inquired about recreating it for their weddings have suffered sudden death, cancellation, or gotten dumped out of nowhere. Coincidence? Maybe. But something about holding on to love that never happened feels like the beginning of a curse, doesn't it? This one's heavy. A ring once worn by a woman named Emma Eliza Holt, who died in a suspicious fire shortly after receiving it. Passed through her family, the ring was said to cause violent obsession or inexplicable illness. Each new wearer reportedly became paranoid, isolated, and eventually dangerous. One descendant claimed to have recurring visions of drowning while wearing the ring. Another attempted to bury it, only to have it wind up back in their jewellery box the next day. When it was finally donated to a historical society, 2 employees reportedly started exhibiting strange behaviour and had to take indefinite leaves of absence. It's currently kept in storage, locked, wrapped in black cloth, taped shut. Samurai swords are more than weapons, they're heirlooms meant to carry honour. But this one seems to carry death. Allegedly forged during a brutal 17th century conflict, the Muramasa blade was rumoured to thirst for blood, demanding lives constantly. Soldiers who wielded it often met violent ends themselves, by their own hand or someone close to them. Over the years, multiple suicides and unexplained murders have been linked to this blade. Even when displayed safely in museum glass, employees report hearing soft hissing and groaning sounds near it. A respected collector once refused to house the blade after reporting weeks of vivid nightmares and waking up with bruises on his wrists. He insisted it be sealed in a lead-lined case, which it was, and thank God for that. Okay, books aren't supposed to scream, but this one? Multiple witnesses, most of them reputable, swear they heard a blood-curdling scream when opening an untranslated 18th century grimoire found in rural Romania. Experts say it's just wind trapped by binding layers, but the timing doesn't make sense. The book's cover features hand-stamped sigils similar to demonology texts, and the parchment was tested for human skin. Results? Inconclusive, which isn't super comforting. Within 6 months of handling it, 2 researchers died suddenly, one from heart failure, the other in what investigators called a freak accident involving fire. It hasn't been opened publicly since 2003. Some texts are meant to be read, others are better left closed. The Portrait of Sadness. As it's been renamed online, this painting of a gaunt, wide-eyed man originally hung in a small London gallery in the 1970s. But after extensive water damage and 2 mysterious fires, always stopping at the painting, it was pulled from public view, sold privately, misfortunes followed, divorce, bankruptcies, a suicide. The strange part, the man's expression has reportedly changed over the years. In the earliest photos, he looks sad. In the most recent, almost smug. Paranormal experts suggest art can house emotion. And in this case, maybe the emotion outgrew the frame. It now resides in a locked room controlled by temperature, humidity, and apparently a priest on speed dial. Archaeologists found a palm-sized idol buried near a temple in Tamil Nadu, India. At first, they thought it was ceremonial, but every person directly involved in its recovery either fell ill, left the project abruptly, or broke down mentally. One archaeologist reportedly collapsed after dreamlike hallucinations made him believe the idol was watching him. Lab tests revealed it absorbed blood on contact. Of course, there's no scientific basis for curses, but nobody touches it with bare hands now. The idol remains sealed in an underground archive at an unnamed university. Even covered in gold leaf, it just feels wrong, even in photos. You ever look at an old typewriter and think, now that's cursed? No? Well, after this you might. A Remington Portable Model 5, allegedly used by a decaying writer in rural Maine, gained a reputation after being found in a burned-out cabin. The last page still in it contained disturbing, disjointed text about becoming hollow. Every owner after that reported their writing turning darker, far beyond their typical style. A popular mystery novelist said he started dreaming about being dissected. Another claimed the typewriter wouldn't stop clicking in the middle of the night, though it was unplugged and unpowered. Today, it's stored in a main library archive, under lock, and with a noise detection sensor for reasons. So, still want to hit up that antique shop this weekend? Maybe steer clear of mirrors, boxes, or anything that used to belong to someone named Vlad. Just kidding. Mostly. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I know this one got a little heavy. If it gave you chills or made you reconsider thrift store finds, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and tap the bell. There's a new file every weeknight. Stay safe, keep questioning, and hug your weird little trinkets tight. That was your dose of the unknown. See you in the next file. Subscribe for more of the unknown.